He's always a step ahead.
But Michael, we're going to talk about proper fighters now.
Yeah.
You've been fighting, is it fair to say, pretty much your whole life?
My whole life, yeah. Literally since 5-year-old. Since I can ever remember.
When did you have your first actual fight?
Which, in the ring or outside?
Should we go outside? I think that's
outside. I'd say about all the time up and down the side, literally. Well, you know, gypsy children, we never stop fighting. I'd say 4 or 5-year-old had to be. I remember the first time I went back to my mother. I don't know, it could have been about 6-year-old. I had a busted nose. I went back, obviously crying and all that. She said, I said, Mommy, my nose. Do you know if you don't get back out, she said, and sort it out yourself, I'll give you twice as much hiding. Straight back out, and then I won. It was easier to get beat by him than Mommy.
The fear of mum, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it. And after that day, I never complained again.
Did you just have literally the bug then? Do you know, I know you.
It was my brothers.
Kind of been surrounded by
my father could fight.
Family.
My uncles could fight. I grew up in a fighting family. And my brother Jimmy, Jimmy's a real good boxer. And when he was younger, he'd done everything, like winning titles, like amateur titles and stuff like that. And I always wanted to be a boxer like Jimmy. And then all the brothers, we just all grew up boxing, fighting, sparring one another. So it was good. I was 6 brothers.
God blimey, yeah. So you've been well looked after as well, to be fair.
Jimmy's looked after as well.
Yeah. That's one family you don't. Do you know what I mean? But so when did you make it into the ring then? When did that change for you?
9-year-old I went in the ring. 9-year-old. I started training. We was in Enzo Macronelli's gym. Old Mario Macronelli. We trained with him. He was brilliant though. Mario he was a brilliant trainer. Real strict man. About 9-year-old, must be 9 or 10. My first fight. I had 34 fights. I lost 4, and I won 17 by stoppage.
And so how old were you during that time frame?
Only from about 9 till about 14 or 15 was my last fight.
Yeah, and you only lost 4.
I only lost 4, yeah. And I was fighting when I was a young boy. I was fighting at 82 kilos, 83 kilos. So I had big boys to fight.
Yeah. And you think during that age though, you still haven't. I know they say the phrase, don't they? You don't get your man strength, do you? Till you
I was still a boy. I was only a little boy, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I always could hit though. I always had good power.
Yeah. I have seen some videos. I'm not going to lie.
I have always had good power. Then I got married when I was about 17-year-old, and literally that just chucked a spanner in the works for the boxing. Then children started coming along, and then kept working. Then I was going to get back into boxing. Just one thing after another. Never got back in the ring. I've had a few white collar fights, but just mostly stayed outside. And after that,
is that something? Not as a regret, because obviously you had your wife and your family. Do you know what I mean? But
I regret it. I do regret it, except from my wife and family. Like obviously, I don't regret that, but I really do regret it every day. I wish I could go back and do it again.
So are you still, I say this in the nice, are you still fighting now, Michael?
Still fighting, yeah. It's bare knuckle.
So where, because obviously we've had the birth of BKB and BKFC and all this sort of stuff that's now going televised, and there's a real buzz around it. You're still going the bloody raw route, should we say?
We're only family men, but we only fight if we get challenged, you know what I mean? Look, we don't cause trouble, but we'd never back down from a fight. That's the kind of thing. If somebody knocks my door, get out for a fight, then he's got to fight.
Is it literally like that? Is it literally?
That's the way it is, yeah, in the troubles.
God, how does your wife cope, Michael?
Not very well.